When a monkey, or any other primate, competes for leadership within the troop, there are 5 ways they gain the position of alpha. But before we get into that, don't forget to hit that like button for more videos about our closest living relatives. And let's get into it. The first way is through direct combat. Like we humans, male monkeys will often fight other males, particularly rivals, for a spot at the top. These fights are common among many species of non-human primates, especially among young males who aren't yet sexually mature but are competing for the right to breed in the future. Oftentimes, this competition results in serious injuries. The winner of a fight between 2 males establishes dominance over the loser, who must either submit and accept his new lower rank or leave the group entirely. In some cases, when a new male monkey joins a troop, he may immediately be challenged by the reigning alpha male. If the newcomer wins the ensuing fight, then he takes over as the new alpha. So this first method of achieving alpha status involves defeating your rival in a one-on-one confrontation. However, the second method is a bit more complex, and it involves joining forces with other males to take down the alpha. Many primates live in groups, and the males in these groups often form alliances to help them obtain food, defend against predators, and assert dominance over other groups. This means that the strongest individual does not always win the fight for alpha status. Sometimes, several average males will band together and overthrow an exceptionally aggressive alpha. So how do alliances form, and why would a bunch of average males want to gang up on one guy? In nature documentaries, I've heard the term gang up on someone used frequently to describe this behavior. But to me it sounds kind of negative and implies that the alphas are always bullies or oppressors. But this is not always the case. An alpha male doesn't necessarily need to be a tyrant, and even if he is, it's not always a bad thing. A dominant male who beats all the other males in his troop might be doing it to protect them from predators or rivals. Even in human society, strong leaders aren't always benevolent. Think of someone like Stalin or Mao Zedong. But people still follow them because they make the group stronger and more successful. So going back to nature, an alliance between several males could be formed for a variety of reasons. Maybe there is a female in the group that everyone wants to mate with. Maybe the alliance is formed out of necessity to take on a predator or a rival troop. Or maybe the alpha male has been oppressing the group and needs to be overthrown. Whatever the reason, alliances are a key factor in primate politics. Chimpanzees, for example, will form coalitions to take down alpha males who attempt to forcibly mate with females in heat. By working together, the coalition of males can overpower the alpha, preventing him from reproducing and asserting their dominance over him. So in many primate groups, males will form alliances based on shared interests or goals, which can lead to complex social dynamics and shifting power structures. Method number 3 is displaying authority. Oftentimes, the leader of the pack will show off how strong he is. Screaming, chest beating, jumping, and even chasing members of the troop is normal behavior for many primate species. The other members of the troop know that the leader is strong, so they're naturally intimidated by these displays of power. This means the leader doesn't have to engage in risky one-on-one fights to maintain his position. The other members of the troop are hesitant to challenge a leader who is known to be strong and aggressive, thus giving him an easy means of maintaining his dominance without the risk of injury that comes with fighting. We see this type of behavior in many species of non-human primates, including baboons, chimpanzees, and gorillas. For example, a dominant male gorilla will often beat his chest and make loud vocalizations to establish his presence and dominance within the troop. Similarly, a chimpanzee will scream loudly to announce its presence and assert its dominance over other members of the troop. In many ways, primates are much like teenage boys. They go through puberty and become sexually mature. And after that, they're constantly trying to impress the ladies. One way to impress the ladies is by showing off how big and strong you are. By performing these types of behaviors, a primate can attract potential mates and deter rivals. This display of strength serves multiple purposes, such as attracting mates, intimidating rivals, and establishing dominance. All right, Now we're getting into some pretty human-like behavior. Now, controlling resources is another way that monkeys achieve alpha status. Primates are like us in many ways. They form complex social bonds, use tools, and have sophisticated communication skills. But one thing they have in common with us is that they are driven by self-interest. In general, primates tend to look out for themselves and their own well-being. Chimpanzees, for example, will hoard food and refuse to share it with others in their group. And monkeys will often steal food from one another. Self-interest is a major factor in primate society, and it plays a big role in the way that they interact with each other. And in terms of acquiring alpha status, the ability to control resources is a powerful tool. The alpha male is usually the first to get access to food, shelter, and mates. He uses this access to his advantage to maintain his dominance within the troop. For example, a male cynomolgus monkey who has established himself as the alpha will often be given priority access to bananas, a high-value food item that is often used as a reward in primate research studies. This means that the alpha male will be able to eat first and get the best bananas, which are typically the ripest and sweetest. In some cases, the alpha male may also be given exclusive access to the best sleeping sites, or may have the first opportunity to mate with new females who join the troop. By controlling these valuable resources, the alpha male is able to maintain his dominance and ensure that he gets the best that the troop has to offer. So the ability to control resources is a significant advantage for any monkey looking to establish alpha status. Now, the last way that monkeys achieve alpha status is through social relationships. Chimpanzees will use social strategies such as grooming and caring for infants to form factions and gain support from other members of the group. Grooming is an important social activity for chimps and other primates. It serves several purposes, including removing parasites, maintaining hygiene, and strengthening social bonds. When a chimp grooms another, it is not only helping to keep them clean, but is also demonstrating affection and trust. By spending time grooming others, a chimp is investing in their social relationships and building a network of allies. These allies can then provide support when the chimp is in need, such as when it is trying to establish alpha status. Chimpanzees are highly social animals who live in complex communities with their own hierarchies and power structures. To navigate these social dynamics successfully, they must form and maintain strong social bonds with other members of their community. Grooming is an essential part of this process as it helps chimps to communicate, build trust, and create alliances. Now let's talk about the role of infant care. Infant care is another important social behavior in chimpanzee communities. When a female gives birth to an infant, she will often receive assistance from other members of the group, including other females, adult males, and even adolescents. This assistance can take many forms, such as helping to carry the infant, providing food for the mother, and protecting the infant from predators. By providing care for infants, chimpanzees are not only helping to ensure the survival of the next generation, but are also building social bonds and creating alliances. Adult males who participate in infant care are particularly important for establishing paternity and creating alliances between males and females. When a male chimp helps to care for an infant, he is signaling his genetic interest in the child and establishing a bond with the infant's mother. This can create a powerful alliance between the male and the female, as well as between the male and the infant. Over time, this can lead to the formation of a coalition between the male and the female that can be used to establish alpha status. Now, remember how I said that the strongest individual doesn't always win the fight for alpha status? Well, here's why. In some cases, the strongest individual in a chimpanzee community is not the one who becomes the alpha. Instead, it is the individual who has the most supporters and the most fans. This is because chimpanzees are highly social animals who rely on complex communication systems to coordinate their activities and maintain their social order. A successful alpha must be able to use these communication skills to build alliances, negotiate conflicts, and maintain social order within the community. Therefore, the alpha is not necessarily the strongest fighter, but rather the one who is most skilled in social politics and has the most support from other members of the group. So, in summary, monkeys compete for leadership not only through physical strength and brute force, but also through alliances and social strategies. While strength is an important factor, it is not the only one. Forming alliances, displaying dominance and controlling resources, and navigating social relationships all play significant roles in determining who will emerge as the leader of the pack. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.